All right, welcome back to the Late Night Chat Network, everyone. Your first stop for pop culture talk, and this is late night movie trailers. And today we're going to be watching the trailer for Ballerina from the world of John Wick, Ballerina, Max, and reacting to it. All right, let's take a look.
Let's do it.
Do you like your dogs? I know a school where they teach dances. I could take you there if you'd like.
To stop the assassin, you must become the assassin. You will always be weaker. You will always be smaller. You want to win? Improvise. Adapt. Cheat.
Welcome to the Continental.
Eve Macaro of the Buscaroma. What a pleasure to see you again.
Ballerina, you must see.
You have no idea what you just walked into.
They killed my father. This isn't done until they're dead.
Fate is a very humbling thing.
You are him. The one they call the Baba Yaga. How do I start doing what you do?
Looks like you already have.
That confused the fuck out of me. Is that John Wick for real in there, bro?
Yeah, and they're obviously selling the movie based on the fact that that's probably the only scene that guy's going to show up in this movie, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
probably.
but I know Max got a kick out of the cheesy line he busted out there. You already are.
Yeah, no, it's Keanu Reeves is like my favorite terrible actor. Like
He's great.
he's amazing, but he's so bad. Like he's so what the fuck?
I'm all in on John Wick, so I'm definitely going to check this out. I like Anna de Armas. I mean, I do like her as an actress. I think she's like obviously really attractive. Is she enough for a lead in an action film?
I guess we'll find out.
Yes,
We'll
that's
find
the
out.
only thing I'm not positive on if that's going to work for this or not. Honestly, like it really just depends on how they work this out with her as the
Right.
lead, right? Like I think it's possible to even though you're maybe not known for being an action star, right? To be still highlight a film like this. They've done it time and time again. Look what they just did it with. They've been doing that a lot lately with these guys, like that Nobody movie where they took
right.
right,
Yeah, that's a
like
good
so,
example.
like you can do it,
Bob
but
Odenkirk. Right?
yeah, you take somebody who may not necessarily fit the mold of what you would think of maybe an action star or something, and
Mhm.
and I just she's not one of the women that we've seen really, I feel like, step into, like, she's been in movies where she's been really cool characters. Like I haven't seen Blade Runner 2049. What was she in that? Was she like
You haven't seen it?
No.
She was good in it. Like I like that movie. I think more people like that one a little bit more than I do. I prefer the original, personally.
I think most people do though.
No, there's a good amount of people
Is
who
there?
like the sequel more because that was like Denis Villeneuve, and I'll say like the sequel is like more actiony. So if you like more actiony type movies, yeah.
Was she though like
I don't want to say who she is because that's like ruining
Okay,
because I just
okay.
watch it and then yeah.
Okay. Because I don't know.
She's good in it. Yeah, she's good.
I mean, she showed up in Bond, like she showed up in the Daniel
oh
Craig
yeah,
Bond movies.
that's another. See, like
right.
we just talked about that. I haven't seen that. That was the newest one.
So maybe I'm selling her short. I just know she's the lead of this movie, like as this ballerina character.
Right.
I think obviously this whole Russian ballerina aspect to it is.
It's like Black Widow.
Yeah, exactly.
Scarlett Johansson.
So that works. How about you, Jay? What do you think of this?
That remix too of Tiny
Elton
Dancer.
John. Yeah.
That was a pretty nice remix. Hey,
I mean,
it was good. It just set the mood. It set the mood for the trailer. I mean, if that's what the trailer is going to be all like, I don't know. I can't see. I don't know. There's got to be a little bit more to the storyline and to actually, I guess, keep people hanging on. Well, even other action, right?
They must have filmed this this movie like a while ago because that guy's a lot like isn't it
Lance Reddick?
He passed away.
I was actually going to comment on that. I think this was so this doesn't bode well for it either. I believe this is one of those movies where it didn't test well. And I think they went back to the drawing board and reshot some stuff.
Yeah,
I think this is one of those ones I heard that was a trouble production, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe that like writer's strike probably had something to do with it.
If it wasn't that it didn't test well, there was some issues I heard with it because I think
a bunch of
to your point, I think this was done like a year ago, and this has
maybe
been
even longer.
This has been prolonged.
That guy died 2 years ago now.
That's very true. But they could have filmed
that
before. I mean, like you know what I mean. They could have started filming this 2 years ago.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. So. But I think it was originally, supposed to come out last year, and then it just didn't.
Unless, I mean, listen, I don't want to throw anything out there, but maybe that's like AI, like Reddit.
It could also be. Who knows? It could also be.
It could be. Like, I wouldn't put it past anything at this point.
I mean, they do have him listed in the cast here, but do they still get a credit if you're AI? I don't know.
Did they end up? This is so like off topic. Did they end up crediting that guy from Alien Romulus, the dead guy, Ian Holm? Like,
I don't know.
Did they end up putting him in the credits? I should be curious about that. Actually.
Yeah.
You know,
Norman Reedus is in this. That's interesting,
right?
I mean, it's been a while since I've seen him in something not like The Walking Dead, right?
I mean, this is kind of like a obvious thing that I'm about to say because the thing I'm just more curious about it is like how it's gonna fare. Like, if this ends up being a box office like smash, then Ana de Armas is gonna be like, she's gonna be a star. Like a real star.
I would argue that she already is.
No, but I mean, like now she's a lead in her movies, and like she could do anything now, kind of thing. Like,
right.
Like because she was always been that side chick in these movies, basically, right? That you mentioned, James, Eye Candy or whatever, and I know she played that.
Knives Out was a good one for her. She
right,
was the main one in
right.
No, that was a big role for her.
Although I would argue Daniel Craig was the lead, but
he was great in that. But I mean, she was the central.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right about that. But she was also in that movie where she played Marilyn Monroe, which I haven't seen.
I haven't seen that yet.
I have not seen that, so I'd be interested in checking that out. But if she does, like if this movie does like amazing, she's gonna reach a new level in her career. But if it flops, like, and this looks like a movie that could flop. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't be shocked if this didn't do well.
So I got some info here. I just did a quick Google here. Apparently, principal photography was completed in 2023 for this film. Okay.
They didn't start filming 2 years ago. They finished filming.
Originally, this was just called Ballerina. Then they had to put From the World of John Wick Ballerina on it. I think based off the fact they didn't think that people were going to understand that this is from that world. And then they obviously had to throw him in the trailer.
Like spoon feed.
Of course. But I think the world of John Wick is very interesting. And I think that this could easily sell well if she's able to carry this film.
Okay.
Honestly, I think this people would be into this movie.
I think so too.
I'm gonna go see it.
I
love John Wick.
I'm leaning towards this is probably gonna be more of a success, I think, than a flop. But we'll see. I mean, it's also rare that, and this is just the truth of the matter. It's rare that that when a female is in an action lead that it does well. Like they've been known to sort of tank when that happens. Like when a female is
depends who it is though as well.
Yeah, but when they're in a horror film, it's okay.
Because the thing is, it's like action movies I think tend to like cater more towards like male audiences, and then because it's like a female lead, I don't know. I think sometimes there's like a tricky situation like there. They like look like that. Look, case in point, Furiosa. that did not do well at the box office, and that was a female-led action film, right?
But then
But it was a kick-ass movie.
But
though.
if you put Charlize Theron in one, she's led many films where
but
she's
she
the
wasn't
lead
the-
action star. And I mean,
which I don't know, would you call her the lead in that first Fury
not
Road?
that, but there's other things.
Oh,
she's been
Atomic
the-
Blonde.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
did that do well?
I don't know.
Was that like a? That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about like
What's that other one? Salt. That's
with Angelina Jolie. She's like she's a star. She's like a real like legit star. Yeah, I know. That was a good example for sure. No, I know sometimes they don't. I remember like I don't know this. You guys, I remember Taraji P Henson was like in a action movie called Proud Mary, and she was like, it was like gonna be like her big action, and it didn't do well at all in the theaters. Maybe that's just because of her star status. Maybe it wasn't as big as they thought it would be. I don't know, but but Ana de Armas is like, I think, like to your point, I think she's very popular and like people like her a lot. So it could be a smash. We'll see.
I just think it's the way it's got to come out. We got to market it to whoever is going to pitch it out there, and especially in a trailer form like this, you got to know what kind of audience you're going to market it to, because it's not easy for a female film to make it as an action movie. I don't think it's impossible. I just think it's not easy. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a lot more action going on in female sports and everything nowadays that could come off really good too in that sense, right?
You know what's another thing I wanted to say is like, I feel like the pitch for this movie is kind of like fickle. Like it's a little like surface level. It's just like, let's just do John Wick, but like now girl, like, you know what I mean? It's not like it's a little empty, like a little, I don't know if that's the right word, but it's like a little on the surface.
There's always something where they end up coming back in the second one as a woman or something, not like, but the actor or the actress,
they do a lot of like female spin-offs
parts.
now. Like I heard they're trying to do that with the Fast and Furious now, and you know they're trying to do that with like a bunch, like they did it with like Ocean's 11 and shit, right?
I do think though they have a good advantage here because they don't really need to establish her group of characters as much as they would have had to if this was the first film in this series. We already know these people somewhat from the John Wick films, these Ballerina people, right? So I feel like anybody who's going there that's familiar with the world of John Wick or those films, I don't think this will be that hard of a sell in that sense, because they're going to be like, oh, okay, yeah, she's one of these people in it, right? I will say, though, the show didn't do well. The
Continental.
Yeah, I didn't even bother with it. I heard really bad things about it.
Was Mel Gibson in it, I heard, or he directed it?
I don't know.
Something Mel Gibson, I heard, was attached to it somehow. The first John Wick, when it came out, it wasn't, because it was the first one, it wasn't like a massive success. It was almost like kind of a sleeper
It was a cult hit.
It was a cult hit.
Yeah.
And the main selling point of the first John Wick, it's Keanu Reeves, who's already an established action star, returning to action, and it was a good action movie.
Not only that, though, Keanu's star has gotten only bigger since then.
Yeah, but at the time, yeah, it did kind of like I wouldn't say he faded, but he was just in a bunch of like,
no, he was in a bunch of stinkers.
He was in a bunch of bad movies. But the thing is, Keanu can never fade away because he's Keanu Reeves. Like,
right?
To me, I don't think so. Like, we all knew we all knew who Keanu was. It's like, right, like,
right.
I like, but that was like, that's the thing. It's like it was a good movie that he was in.
Yeah.
That's what. When it's a good movie, it's like
that's what got the word of mouth going. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think about it. Straight up, think about it, okay? Because the way that they're marketing this and the way they're playing it off, maybe they're dipping their toes in the water to see if this is the direction they want to go with a John Wick style thing. Because this is not a stupid way of doing that.
But that's what I mean. They have a lot riding on this film. Yeah. They do.
Yeah. Be any sort of assassin, right? But I mean, they're going to try it this way. Let's try it this way. Let's maybe dip our toes in the water.
Because not only do they have a lot riding on this film, so does Ana de Armas's future for doing lead roles like this is also riding on this film. So hopefully it does well, because I like her and I like these films. So I mean, I hope it does well. I don't think it's going to do as good. I hate to say it, as John Wick.
I don't think so either.
You know, I think it
might
could get
blow it out of the water. Who knows?
Like a lot of franchises, I noticed this is like their gimmick. Like the original like Christopher Reeve Superman movies, the series. Then they made Supergirl, and like who even talks about that movie anymore? And then they made like the Conan the Barbarian, like with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Then they made like Red Sonja, like the female standalone movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is such a gimmick in Hollywood. Like, and it's like those movies nobody ever like remembers them or cares about them like a year after they come out. So it's just like, I'm hoping it's a good movie for her sake, because I want her to succeed. I don't wish like failure on anybody, but it just the whole package of it just feels like a gimmick to me, and that's why like I'm like 50-50. I don't know. Will I see it? I don't know. Maybe I'll just wait for it to come on.
It could have been a
home
lot worse for who they cast
home video.
and what they're planning to do with this story, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I guess time will tell.
I mean,
We'll
if
see.
it turns out to be an amazing movie, I'll shut the hell up. And like, yeah, I'll admit I was wrong, and I hope it does. And yeah,
I'll be there for my girl Anna.
Anna, your girl Anna. See, I'm calling. Yeah, first name basis.
All right, there you have it, everybody. Okay, so we'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you.